Welcome back. We just passed the 25th anniversary of the Baker decision, which paved the way for same-sex civil unions and later gay marriage here in Vermont. Let's take a listen to the newest two-part episode of the 802 News podcast featuring two people who were pivotal to that historic case.
And I think what people may have learned is that same-sex couples are pretty boring, that we do the same things they do. We get up and have breakfast and wash the dishes and clean the house and watch TV at night or whatever, that sort of thing. So
argue about who gets the choice tonight of which movie to watch.
Exactly. So it's that we are more alike than we are different.
Mark joins us now. Mark, the Baker decision was a crucial moment for expanding equal rights in Vermont. What's the importance of that legal and cultural precedent?
Well, it was a huge deal. It was really ground setting. Vermont was really the first in the country. Hawaii was doing a little bit of work on this, but Vermont was really the first place where the challenge to marriage had been successful. And what the Supreme Court did, which was in retrospect really wise, is that they didn't just say yes or no to gay marriage. They said, let's have the legislature try to solve this. And they debated whether to have marriage or civil unions, and they chose civil unions, which when you look back on it now, 25 years later, you say, that seems like a real halfway measure. But at the time, it was a huge deal.
How do you think, though, things have changed in the 25 years since the decision? Because that decision, I think a lot of people also marked as kind of a cultural test in Vermont.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's changed is what a not big deal it is to have gay people married. I mean, back then, these two public hearings around the civil unions legislation, people were hanging from the rafters in the State House. It was pretty ugly. As one of the people that I talked to said, thank God social media wasn't around. It was bad enough as it was. But I think what's really changed is that I don't think people really think about it that much. And back then, it was so peaked.
We just heard a clip from part one of the episode with plaintiffs Stan Baker and Peter Harrigan. There's also part two out today. Can you tell us a little bit about what's in part two?
Part two is Tom Little, who was a Republican from Shelburne, who is chair of the House Judiciary Committee. And he was really the one who shepherded the civil unions bill through the process, which took about 6 months. The Baker decision came out in late December of '99. And Tom Little led the committee through the early part of 2000, and then Howard Dean, of course, signed the bill in mid 2000. And I think Tom has a really interesting perspective on this, on just how you get public input, how you try to get the public involved. And, you know, it was a long and involved process.
You can listen to the newest episodes of the 802 News podcast on our website, WCAX.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. Mark Johnson, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.